Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll start our meeting with a few people still haven't gotten here yet, or they get stuck in the mud over there. I don't know.
Oh, slipping and sliding as fast as the ice.
Oh, it seems strange we haven't had a meeting since January, with our February one being canceled because of snowstorms the whole month. But we did get through it. Now we'll see if we can stay on schedule with speaker today, and we're all set up for April. So, with any department heads here, Jill, you have anything? I think you represent Generations.
Yep. The next meeting for the Generations is on April 10th, that's a Friday, about 11 o'clock. We're gonna have hot dogs and hamburgers for $5. Volunteers for the Memorial Day Parade, we wanna have a few people to ride the float, wear the shirt, do the thing, whatever. It's a good time. It's nice for the veterans to have some of the community get out and show them that they care. Tomorrow we're raffling off baskets, 15 baskets, at the corned beef and cabbage luncheon at the country club. Everybody bring extra money, please. On Sunday, May 3rd, there's gonna be a trip to the Newport Playhouse, and that's gonna be bus service included, dinner, play, and cabaret for $80. June 29th they're going to Lantana, that's a Monday. $53, you drive yourself to the Lantana, it's entertainment and lunch, and I think the lunch is gonna be chicken piccata. Hi, Carol. That's it for Generations.
Becky, Sheriff's Department, is there anything that you want to announce?
No,
No.
nothing really new, other than I told you before, I think we got our new ID machine that's making the
Yes.
nice IDs, so if you ever want those, we'll come in anytime and have them made. But other than that, no.
Okay, and are you still working on, you and Barbara are working on
The sheriff and, yep, Tim Crew's coming together for the meetings, yep.
We're gonna be doing a tour in May, putting that in the newsletter as we speak. It's the second Tuesday in May that we decided last month, that we're gonna do a tour to either the courthouse or the sheriff's department.
well, we haven't heard from Al Hinks yet on that.
Yeah, because I'm putting it in the newsletter, so do I not?
Well, I think we better not, because it's whatever he has on duty. That's what he's trying to find, is whatever will be a better day. There's not much for him doing on the court. So he hasn't, I have the list here of people that are going, but he has not given me any date yet. So we better wait on
Has
that.
anybody called him?
The second Tuesday would be like,
It's May 10th. I wanna say.
May 10th is Sunday. May
Oh, okay.
11th.
Has anybody
Okay,
called
thank you.
him to check it out with him? Al?
No, I haven't called him back since he mentioned leaving May sometime, but he said he'd let me know. So
Can
we'll have
any
to
of
wait.
you
I
kind of
thought
push
we were
things
doing
along?
a jail tour, I didn't know about a court.
Yeah, we
Sure.
decided last month that he was gonna, look into it. For May 10th, we're gonna leave here at 10 and try to get there around 10:30. So, but I guess we haven't heard back, but
No.
On what date?
May
12th.
10th,
No, May 12th. May
That's
12th. May 12th.
May 12th,
Oh.
the second Tuesday in May.
Right.
So can you two push him along maybe?
Al?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Getting a date?
We don't
to-
really see Al or talk to Al, but I was gonna say, if you do the jail tour or the court tour, we can have the district attorney and the sheriff maybe come that day. We can check the schedules and see if we can arrange that, if that's what you prefer. Like, when are you looking for the DA and the sheriff, Ken?
May 12th, the second
May
Tuesday
12th?
in May, when we're supposed to meet here. So instead of having this meeting, we're gonna meet here and go over as a
Is
group.
that list?
Yes.
This is the list.
You can take my name on it.
Well, don't, because we still don't know if it's gonna go or not.
Well, I scheduled for stage again May 12th, so I
It
will.
won't be anywhere.
No.
All right, well, I'll leave it there.
Barbara,
Yeah.
Barbara represents the DA's office in Brockton. Is there anything that you want to mention to us at all?
Other than, the regular prosecutions, I've been kind of quiet, still put people in jail, which is nice. Other than that, Christine, did you have anything on the elder front?
No, very busy, lots of referrals coming in. If you guys or anyone suspect, elder abuse, make sure you guys report it to Old Colony Elder Services or this elder abuse hotline as well.
We are working hard on the whole opiate epidemic as well as every town across, the state at this point. The med return boxes are basically in every single police department except for like 3 in Plymouth County, and Halifax has one as well. They just kind of jumped on board. So if you have any unused prescription medication that's expired, I urge you to drop it off at the police department. If you don't see the box itself, you can go up to the counter and just hand it to the dispatcher. It's anonymous, nobody takes your name. You can block out all of your identifying information on the labels. And what happens with those medications is kind of neat. It's taken down to CMAS down in Rochester. Covanta Energy takes it free of charge, and they actually incinerate it and put it back into energy. So it's kind of going from waste to energy. So they're getting some good use out of that. At the end of the month, actually at the end of April, we're going to do a training with the licensed prescribers. So a lot of the area doctors, we're going to kind of train them on the opiate epidemic and what we're seeing, and kind of urge them to kind of cut back on doing any of the prescribing, medication, any of the medication. So I mean, other than that, that's pretty much all.
Yeah, we're staying busy.
Yeah, we had somebody call yesterday for the unused, medication, so, we still have to get the word out, and that's part of what we do as a Triad team in the town.
Right.
So.
And that goes for non-prescriptions as well as something you could get, at CVS or a
Yeah,
local
so-
drugstore like Benadryl or something.
Right. It's over-the-counter stuff as well. On the box, it'll have like a list of what you can and cannot dispose of in there. But you don't have to be a resident of Halifax to use the Halifax box. It can be, anybody. It's anonymous. So even if you have like your medications in the car with you, if you're driving through like Abington and think, you're like, I want to get rid of these, you can go into the Abington Police Department and drop them in that box too. No, there's no like check-in, there's no sign-in. It's just we want to get these drugs off the street and get them disposed of properly.
All right, we'll put that in the next newsletter, on Triad News.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Thank you, Barbara.
You're welcome.
Laurie, I know you just got in. Laurie
Sorry,
is the director of
Tuesdays are
Home
tough.
Public Library. Is there anything, Laurie, you want to mention at all?
Well, we do have Ken's display still going on this month for one more month. So anybody who hasn't seen it yet, Ken Vinton's got his collection of Native American memorabilia. It's been very popular, so come and take a look. And the winter art show is still also going on until the first day of spring, March 22nd. So we have a lot of art at the library. We have word game night was rescheduled from last week to this Thursday night, and genealogy club, the book clubs. We have a lot going on. I have copies of the newsletter. If anybody's interested in any of the activities, just come and get one from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a treasurer's report?
We sure do. We're still where we were the past 3 months. We're at $1,400.55. So it's still the same.
Secretary's report, Susan?
The Triad meeting of January 6, 2015 started at 10:05. Library is having a winter art show open to all ages. The show will run to spring. Ken has his Native American items in the display case. Treasurers and secretaries reports read. Barbara reviewed the file of life packet. The COA bell ringers raised $5,475.83 for the Salvation Army. Upcoming events are the Valentine's Day party at the COA, February 12th at noon, $5. A trip to the Boston Flower Show, March 13th, $17.50. Ballroom dancing starting February 20th at the Town Hall second floor, $5. And March 11th at noon, St. Patrick's Day luncheon at the Country Club, $15. The speaker for February 10th, author Susan Playfair, discussed her new book about cranberries. The speaker was scheduled for February was Susan Playfair to discuss her book on cranberries, and she has been rescheduled to April, I believe.
April, yes, our next meeting.
to the April meeting. The January speaker, Al Hinkst, spoke about his position as the Halifax prosecutor. Lisa Robinson, the victim's witness advocate, explained how her office helps witnesses navigate the complex court system, informs them of their rights and resources available to them. Mike Melanson, editor of the Plymouth Halifax newspaper, attended the meeting and published photos from the meeting. The volunteer of the month was Cameron Broderick. He created the posters and advertising for the health fair. Meeting adjourned at 11:09, and then the February meeting canceled due to weather.
Thank you, Sue. Our speaker for April, our next meeting will be on April 14th. And it's going to be the author who's done a lot of publications, and she has been at some of the libraries. And the one that I caught her at was the one in Cohasset. Susan Playfair has written 2 books. One of them is called Vanishing Species, which is the story of the fishing industry in New England and what's happening to the fishing industry and why the U.S. government has done what they have to almost wipe it out. So that is her first book. Her second book is Cranberry's founding, and this is a story of the Plymouth County cranberry industry, what is happening not only because of the bees, but it's what's happening to the environment itself. So her speaking that day will be on the cranberries, and this will be on April 14th, and her name is Susan Playfair. Our speaker today we have is Julie Richer, and Julie is from the Harbor Community Health Center in Plymouth, which provides primary care, dental and behavioral health services to residents in Plymouth County and surrounding communities. She has been with Harbor Health Services somewhere around, I think she said, a year or 2 years.
A little less than a year, right?
And she does a lot of the services that they offer there. And she lives in the South Shore somewhere for 19 years with 2 children and a dog named Sam. So,
Sometimes he's the best one of the 3, including the husband, who's number 4.
okay. So would you please welcome Julie Richer.
So I'm going to go up to the front and speak if that's okay. Stand over here.
Well, the podium, we can pull the podium over.
Oh, that's all right.
Sure.
Anywhere you feel
No,
comfortable.
sit right here. So thank you for having us. So this is Shayla Majesti. Shayla works also at the Plymouth Health Center. So we, let me just ask a quick raise of hands. How many people know what a community health center is? Okay, so a few of you. So a community health center in a lot of ways will look exactly like a physician's or a dentist's office. So if you walked in, you really wouldn't see any difference. The difference is though that although we will see everybody, people who have Blue Cross, Harvard Pilgrim, Medicare, we also serve a population that's underserved. So we are federally funded. So when the federal government looks at an area and determines that some of the residents, whether they be seniors, disabled people, new immigrants to this country, aren't receiving the medical care or don't have access to medical care, they will put out a grant to put a community health center in that area. And we have 2 community health centers up in Boston. So we have the Neponset and Geiger Gibson Community Health Center, and then we have one down in Hyannis as well. And then we have a dental clinic in Harwich. And we are a nonprofit. So we're federally funded and we're a nonprofit. So part of that is that we provide services to everybody regardless of your ability to pay. So what happens for a lot of folks, a lot of seniors, as you know, don't have dental insurance. So in my experience working with Council on Aging, that maybe 10 to 15% of seniors have dental insurance. The rest of the seniors frequently are going without dental care. So we do a couple different things. We'll work with people if they come in and they meet the income guidelines, to enroll them into Mass Health. so that they would have coverage through Mass Health for dental care. We would take seniors and if they couldn't pay their full bill, we'll put a payment plan together. And unlike a regular dentist where they will do that as well, but it's on a credit card and you're paying interest. You don't pay interest. It's just a payment plan that works for your budget. And lastly, if somebody pays for a service on the day of delivery, we take 50% off the bill, which is great because most dentists, if you pay out of pocket, you actually pay the highest rate. You pay more than what your insurance company would pay for that same service. So we basically pass on the discount we receive from Mass Health on to people. So it's about providing access. And I use seniors with dental as an example, but on the medical side, we work with new immigrant communities. Shayla speaks Portuguese and is available at the health center for the newly arriving Brazilian population that's coming to our area.
I speak Spanish also.
And Spanish too. Trilingual. So Shayla's there and she can help people enroll in insurance plans through the Affordable Care Act. She can help, English speakers as well as non-English speakers to navigate through that process. So we are a physician's office. We have physicians, we have nurse practitioners, we have a lab on site, and then we have also dentists and dental hygienists. We also have behavioral health services. And this can be an important component for a lot of folks who might be struggling, whether it's managing a disease like a diabetic who's not compliant with their eating program, or somebody that's having some issues with depression, that's not taking their medication, working with that person to find out what their obstacles are and putting a plan together to overcome them. Also, our behavioral health person will help with more. We talked about the opiate issue. If somebody comes into the health center and it's obvious that they are abusing drugs or alcohol, our behavioral health person would work to triage them to the appropriate care, whether it be the emergency room or a rehab facility. So we are, as I said, very much like a regular physician's office, but we never turn anyone away because of their inability to pay. In fact, you'll see at all of our health centers a plaque by the door. So if you come in and you don't have health insurance or you don't have dental insurance and you're in pain, you will never be turned away, and we will work with you to make sure that care is accessible to you. The other thing we do is a little different is we work with community groups to provide programs. Like this weekend, we ran a dental program for children, first tooth, which is between a year old or so, up to age 21, could come in for free cleanings, free fluoride treatments, free sealants, and a screening with the dentist. So we are different from a regular doctor's office in that we work with the community to meet the needs of the community. So in that respect, we work with community organizations such as your own to provide education or services that might be of need. We have the WIC program in Plymouth, who's now going to have office hours at our site so that some of their patients or their clients can come right into the health center and receive the services they need. Another important thing, and this is where Shayla is working on, is when people are looking for insurance through the Affordable Care Act. So on the senior side, you have the SHINE counselors who can help people navigate the whole very confusing health insurance world. In our office, Shayla is a certified enrollment counselor. So she helps folks with either Mass Health applications or navigating the Affordable Care Act, either the medical or the dental side. And we do that for people regardless of whether or not you're our patients. So, and you don't have to be medical and dental patients. You can come in just for the dental side. You can come in just for the medical side or both.
And we don't have open enrollment for dental. You can enroll any time of the year.
Yes.
It's not like for medical.
This
For
is same
dental,
time.
yeah, for dental you can come and see if you qualify any time of the year.
So we serve all ages, from age 6. Ultimately will be age 2, but right now age 6 up to seniors. So we see the whole range. On the dental side, first tooth through dentures. We do dentures for folks as well. So
We do accept the free care, the health safety net also. It's
Yeah.
covered dental and medical service in our.
And I know at the senior center, we have referred a lot of people to your community
Yeah.
health. So I know that it's up and running well, and you've been going how long now?
So we had like, I call it a soft opening, like a restaurant, last March, so about a year. But we only brought on the dental and the other services, the wider network of providers from July. So it's really almost like the real full opening was in July. Yeah.
Where is your office?
You know, it's in Cottage Park, and some people might know it. It's actually where the Council on Aging in Plymouth used to be before they got their new building, but basically around back.
Oh, in the back.
Yeah. And like I said, you know, I find for most seniors, the biggest issue is the access to the dental care, just because of the expense. A lot of people are paying out of pocket, so we can work with seniors. We can, you know, put you on an insurance plan if that works for you. If that doesn't work for you, we can work with you on a payment plan, or you can pay on the day of service and receive that discount. And because we're a nonprofit, I can't say we're less expensive than every commercial dentist office, but in general, we are less expensive than a commercial dental office will be. So, you know, it gives you a little bit more access. that
And if
way.
you call our office to appointment, we don't have a waiting list because I hear from other places for dental, if you have Mass Health, you need to wait 6 months, 3 months. We're gonna see right away.
Yeah. So, and it's a beautiful facility, and the lab is right there too, so you don't have to, if you need labs, you don't have to go somewhere else. So.
And how much dementia and Alzheimer's are you seeing coming through since you've been open?
Yeah, you know what, it's starting, our population kind of started, I would say, it looked like it was like 35 to 55-year-olds, and it's sort of branching out in both directions. Now we're seeing more children and more aged population, but that definitely will be a factor. The other big factor for us, and probably because of the bulk of where our patients are right now, is substance abuse is a big issue for us. The other thing we're finding, we're working with a lot of the opiate councils in different towns, is that they have somebody who is going into treatment, and the first question is, well, what's your insurance? And they don't have insurance because the family's been trying to get them in treatment for years, but maybe they've been separated from the family, living on the street or whatever. So enrolling people in Mass Health quickly so they have insurance, and then once they're through with the detox part and they're in rehab, other complicating medical conditions are coming to the front because they haven't received medical care for a long time. So then working with that population, we don't currently do it down here, but in Boston we do a lot of hepatitis C testing, which is part of, you know, an issue that comes about with the opiate.
And how about eye care for the future? With hearing aids, eye care, and dentures are usually
The big
most-
ones.
the big expensive.
Yeah, and they're not covered by Medicare. So we do dentures for people. And again, it would be less expensive than if you were doing it on a commercial basis. Mass Health, if you can qualify for that, does cover dentures, so that's good. Right now, we do have at our other sites up in Neponset, we do have ophthalmologists that come in, so hopefully, you know, down the line, as the health center grows, we'll open up into that area. Hearing aids, even in Neponset, in Geiger, we've been there for 50 years, we refer out to an audiologist. That's kind of a specialized field, so probably unlikely that would happen right at the health center. So,
I have a question. Do you cover pharmacy on that or not?
So we actually do have 2 pharmacies. So one of the things that happens with a lot of seniors as well is kind of falling into the donut hole with your prescriptions. So if a person is a patient of ours, we have a mail order pharmacy option, and it's significantly less expensive, the actual cost of the drugs. So that your costs are going to be less, so you're less likely
It's
to
much
Yeah.
less.
we buy our prescriptions through a special program for the federal government. We're not buying them like on a commercial basis like a regular pharmacy. So like Patty, our pharmacist up at Geiger, was using an example of a man that she worked with. He used to kind of fall in that donut hole, reach that first maximum about August. And she was able to keep him out of it until December. So then he was only paying out of pocket for a couple of weeks before the next calendar year started. So the mail order pharmacy for seniors is a great option. If you live in Hyannis or Geiger or up in Dorchester, you could also walk into the pharmacy. Right now in Plymouth, we don't have a pharmacy, so mail order would be best
So
option.
is your plan cheaper, like if a person was on Mass Health, is it cheaper or,
For pharmacy?
yeah?
If you have a Mass Health, you can have, we have like 85 medication, it's for free.
Okay,
And for people who has Mass Health, the most expensive medication is $364. $3.64 if you have Mass Health.
Yeah, so it is a significant savings on the pharmacy. Unfortunately, we don't have a physical pharmacy, like in Hyannis or at Geiger Gibson in Dorchester, you can walk in and use the pharmacy just like any other pharmacy. Here, that's not
but
practical.
you're
You can't
limited
walk.
on the amount of medications.
But if you call the pharmacy before noon, you're gonna get in your house the next day.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know the fine details on this person, but it might
it
be
might
an
work.
option.
One of the nice things too is that some of us have mail order prescription benefits as part of our insurance carriers. And you ever call, you go through the 20-step process to get to the actual customer service person. You're ready to pull your hair out at that point. Here, really, it's a little bit like Patty the pharmacist. You pick up the phone at Geiger. It's not even it's a quarter of the size of this room. It's just a little personal pharmacy. So if a person has specific questions about this is what I take, this is what it's costing me, what can I do, you can speak right to the pharmacist. It's not a customer service department with 200 people answering the phone.
Well, the person I'm talking about is a typical mental health person.
Mm-hmm.
He lost his job, and so then he had to go on Mass Health. But that didn't go in effect, and he needed his medication, and that was $300 for him to pick this medication
Right.
up, which he, of course, he doesn't have a job,
So he didn't have the money, yeah.
he didn't have the money.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what he's
Yeah.
doing now for medication.
Yeah, but it is an option, but because you're not speaking, you don't have to, if a person is incapacitated in some way, they don't have to go through like a big rigmarole to actually speak to a medical person in the pharmacy.
But maybe that would be a good option for him to go. I'll have to bring it up,
Yeah.
you know.
I brought some cards, I'll leave them here, that just give like our, basic contact information and all that. Right now, we're open, 8:30 to 4:30, but like our deposit center, which is, and I use that as an example just because that's the most well-established, that's been around for about 35, 40 years, medical center is open every day of the year except for Christmas and Thanksgiving. So ultimately, there will be Saturday hours, there'll be Sunday hours, there'll be evening hours. So for people who are, working all day long, they're not gonna have to take time off of work to come to the doctor. In our Geiger Gibson Center, we have dental appointments that start at 7:30 in the morning and start as late as 8 o'clock at night. Yeah,
Hyannis 8 to 8, Monday
yeah,
through
so
Friday.
it's busy. Any other questions?
Thank you, Julie.
I'm sorry, I have
I'm
one
sorry.
Do you have some more questions?
Just one, if somebody has to be referred out to a specialist, is there any kind of benefit to being a patient? Do you get any kind of discount after you?
So if you
Be
went to go to a
referred.
specialist, so when we refer to a specialist, if you were a patient of ours and the specialist had a prescription for you, you could use the pharmacy to fill that prescription. But, in terms of like, do they offer the 50% off if you pay on that day? Not necessarily, no. The other thing is, so we have dental, we have a great medical and dental team, but our dental team is great, but there are things like some types of oral surgery they don't do. They'll do a simple extraction, but they're not gonna do a full oral surgery. But we do have an oral surgeon down in Hyannis. So if a person wanted to stay within the system and take advantage of some of those discounts, they could go from Plymouth to Hyannis. Okay? All right, thanks for having us. Thank
I also want to introduce our representatives from the police department and the fire department. I'll start with Jeff Jeff Kuzo, I remember so. And I believe Jeff, you're now captain, am I right?
I am.
Oh, okay. So Captain Caruso, do you have anything that you want to mention about the fire department? What's coming up, what you've been doing during the storms, or anything of interest to us?
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess I can give you a brief overview. Hold on, let me get my ducks in a row here. As far as events, let's see, we've had the open house, which has been extremely successful. I mean, that was back in October, which was great, highest turnout we've ever had. I'm trying to think what the next event we have coming up. Yeah, I'm trying to rack my brain as far as the calendar's concerned. I can't think of the next thing. As far as the storms are concerned, those have gone off.
Did you have any problems at all, fire department wise, medical wise, or anything in town?
No, not so much problems. I mean, it's kind of a collaborated effort as far as bringing in more guys and keeping the station staffed. As far as, because one thing with the fire department, it's not so much that it's just it's always what could happen as opposed to what's happening right now. So we always want to staff the station because the past couple storms we've had the station staffed with a good amount of people that we brought in, but in some cases we haven't really used them. But it's always the potential of what if. So the past couple storms, we really haven't been as busy as we thought we would have been compared to the storm we had in 2013. But you never know. That's the thing. You always want you never want to be behind the 8 ball. So just bringing people on, because we only have 2 people on a shift. So we don't, obviously it's not a lot of manpower when you're doing a medical or a fire call, especially if you go to a medical and you have to clean somebody's steps out or help shovel them out. It takes a lot of work, and I mean the police are extremely helpful as far as that's concerned as well. But yeah, no, the past couple of storms have been okay. No real problems or issues per se. Just trying to keep the station staffed if we have a storm that comes up, inclement weather or whatever the case may be, because we're kind of understaffed as it is, let alone if there's a storm or any type of hurricane or snowstorm or whatever the case may be comes through. And the thing is, like anywhere else, when it rains, it pours, so to speak. So it's like you might be quiet, you might have a lull for a while, but then as soon as you get like a couple hits or double hits or triple hits, then you're just behind the 8 ball as it is, And but I mean, it is what it is. You can't help it. But it always seems to go that way. Anyway.
Any CPR classes going up?
Tonight, actually.
It's tonight.
Tonight.
Is that for Halifax residents or for a special group?
It's for whoever. Patty, the administrative assistant, takes the list. You can just call her at any time to set it up. There is one at the end of the month too. Tonight, I have 2 firefighters and somebody from the Council on Aging, I believe. The driver coming tonight. So there's 3, and then Nate's teaching one at the end of March. So we have 2 technically this month. But yeah, just give Patty a call, and she can put you on the list. So right now we have 2 CPR classes. Yeah, this month.
And they just finished a big one last month for the Council on Aging van drivers and staff. So did a great job.
Yeah,
As usual.
Nate's the other teacher. He enjoys it. Good teacher.
You didn't enjoy it?
Oh, I wasn't there. Yeah. Oh, I wasn't there. Yeah.
I know you were doing a lot of them when I first went in. You were doing most all of them.
And I enjoy every single one of them. Especially when you're there. Yeah.
Ken goes every single one.
Ken goes just to right too. He's like a sponge, You just want to absorb the knowledge. He's already certified, but the more the merrier.
The reason I go is because we have the 3 grandchildren, and if you go once every 2 years, what good are you to the grandchildren?
Well, that's a
don't remember a thing.
That's a good philosophy in life, that's great that you do that. That's awesome. Very commendable. But yeah, I mean that's true. It's like anything else. If you never do a skill or do a skill once every 2 years, you're not gonna really retain it or be that proficient at it. So yeah, I mean, if more people, it would be great if more people would want to do that, but unfortunately, people don't have time or whatever.
Well, I do it because then I can sit in the back and just go over it each time.
It's a sponge,
And the more times you go over it, the more you're gonna remember certain things.
Absolutely.
Things do change.
Yeah.
How many defibrillators do we have in town? In the companies, that is.
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, they're spread out a little bit. I mean, we have some in the schools, the police cars, obviously
Do the
ones.
schools have them?
They should, yeah. Yep, the schools have, I don't know how many they have, and as far, besides the schools and the police cars, and even, I don't even know if there's any in this building per se, like hanging up. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. I mean, it'll be good to do maybe an inventory of other places, i.e. highway, council on aging, the water department.
I just wondering if Stop and Shop or Walmart have them.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not too sure. I don't remember seeing them. I mean, it'll be good if they do.
Yeah.
See, then it comes to, as far as it comes to the concept of training too, then if you do have them, other people on site that are trained, to use them. I mean, they are pretty grunt-proof, as I call them, so they're relatively simple, but if you've never been trained on them, you really want to know.
See, that's why you should go to CPR, right?
Should, theoretically.
They're very expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, the AED machines, automated external defibrillators cost around anywhere from ballpark $500 to $800, could be even more for each one. I mean, obviously, it's like anything else. If you do need to use it, I mean, it can be a lifesaver. If you might, one may get used, once in its lifespan, if that. But if it is around, if you do need it, it's definitely worth having. That's for sure.
Okay, and the new chief is doing fine?
Yep, he's doing real good. Good transition. Yeah, the new chief started in August, the beginning of August. He came from Sandwich. He was lieutenant there for like 15 years, I believe. He came from Sandwich. So yeah, he started in August. Smooth transition so far. He's running around, like a chicken with its head cut off, trying to absorb everything. Because a lot of roles to fill with little manpower, but he's doing real good.
He seems very interested, which we're concerned with his cert.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, and that's the thing. If he needs any help with that, I could be more than happy to help him out, with the cert. Just I think getting the, but like anything else, the cert, no matter how good it looks on paper, it's actually having the people to kind of back it up. That's the thing. So I don't know now. It's looking more regional in the future as far as the cert team, or that's something he can.
Yeah.
Talk to you about, but anything in-house that needs to be done as far as training, I'll be more than happy to do.
Thank you. Mike, who
Yes.
represents the Halifax Police, anything, Mike? I know you're on duty.
I am
today,
right now
so-
at the moment, so
Okay,
I think the best thing I could say is driving. I think people should, keep in mind, use caution. We still have a lot of snow out there, so that's the main thing I've been seeing out there lately is people pulling out of their driveways or side streets. They just, just use caution getting out because we had a couple accidents. I believe that the captain would agree too that we've had a couple of accidents with people not paying attention, pulling out of roads. So that's the biggest concern. Just
yeah, it is
Caution with that.
dangerous. More dangerous now, even when you're on the road.
yeah, no, it's pretty bad out there in some spots.
If you
but-
could put the little pads away and drive with two hands.
The phones can.
You know what I'm talking about.
It's pads.
Yeah. Other than that,
Good
that's,
term, I
that's,
like that.
that's right. That was good.
Pads.
Okay, I say our next meeting is April 14th. Anything you want to say?
Yes, actually, I do. Thank you for calling on us. I keep on pushing our new program, it's the picture ID file of life. And we use these 3 different ways. They're magnetic, you can put them on your fridge. With all your important information and all your medications. There's also another small one in here that you put in your wallet. Same information in case something happens. And then the third, the brand new program that we're trying to push, see this little square thing, that's a picture of me. And so we're trying to get more and more seniors age 60 and older in town to do this new program and have your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids do
Where
it.
do you have your picture taken?
They can take it with their camera and then they can print it to your printer and cut it out and put it in, and you put all your information and put it in your glove compartment in case something happens and you're alone.
So
in the
any
car.
picture that you have of yourself, you just.
You could, or
put it
just
in?
have them show you how to do it using the
Current,
printer.
Myrna, current.
Current. So we
You have a
40 years
phone
ago.
like that. I don't, so don't.
Yeah,
A
we
simple
can get a
picture.
supply of those.
We have them at the Council on
Oh, you
Aging,
do?
and we get them through the DA's
Oh, so
office,
the DA's office,
Sheriff's
okay.
Department, yep.
Alright.
There's a little sticker also that goes with that you put on the back of your car in the rear window. So
Yeah.
that if Jeff or anybody else, if you get into an
I-
accident, you can go,
They know.
right into your glove
There's a sticker
compartment
right
with
here.
the information you
Everybody,
need.
you can always find
And it's
somebody.
good for the police and fire to know this too.
Yes, those things should be pretty much in everybody's home. Those right there, it's just automatic. What we do when we walk into a house or somebody's home, especially in the mobile home park, for obvious reasons, it's automated. The first thing I do is I look at the refrigerator for one of those, for the file of life. Those things are I cannot underestimate enough how much those need to be out there and how useful those file lives are, and how when we do take them off the fridge, we do use them, we look at them, the information is extremely pertinent. And it's just, yeah, those things, I can't even tell you how much,
For the wallet, file lights.
oh, nice for the wallet. How
Just for
valuable
people
those are.
over 60, correct?
60 and older, but it's good, you know, if you're 50 or 55 and you have 2 or 3 chronic medical conditions, doesn't matter, it's still good to have these in your house.
Have a printout of it.
Yeah, we suggest that people use them for their children as well, because a lot of times you'll have babysitters watching your kids, and if your kids have any medical
Yeah.
issues, have a file of life for your child as well, because it helps out the fire department.
Yeah,
That's great.
great idea.
It's for people of all ages, yeah. People of all ages.
You said at the council on
Yeah,
aging.
yeah, less thinner.
If you have a smartphone, you just put it.
Yeah, we can do it
I
there
don't
too.
have a smartphone.
Uh,
That's okay. I don't have a dumb phone either.
The other thing I wanted to let everyone know, we have Prescription Advantage coming. She did come here, I think last year, but we talked about the donut hole and the medications, but she will be coming to the Council on Aging on Tuesday, May 26th at 10:30. So if you want to learn more about it, it's a very easy application. Everybody should sign up and do it. So it works with your insurance to help with your medication costs. And the last thing I just wanted to, the Council on Aging has received a grant, and we're very excited about it. And it's to form a new walk-in program. And there's like 3 parts to it. So basically, this walk-in program you can do on the honor system, you know, is just to get people to walk a little bit more than you're walking now, you know, to get you moving, to challenging, you know, yourself. We're having a big kickoff on June 3rd, which is a Wednesday, and we're gonna have it later in the afternoon, about 3:30, on the front lawn of Pope's Tavern. And we're trying to include the whole community, you know, the kids from, you know, high school, junior high, that can maybe walk with a senior, the fire department, police department, library, town hall, you know, everybody and anybody, the selectmen, that they can just challenge themselves, you know, and their family members to walk a little bit more. So the way the program is going to work, you can call and sign up, and, you know, you can walk with solo, or you can walk in a small group, you can walk with a buddy. You can walk anytime you want. There will be like no excuse not to walk anymore, because you can walk even if you're in a wheelchair, on a cane, you know, on a walker. You can just hang onto the chair to your favorite music or what have you, and just, you know, record your steps or record the amount of time that you walk or that you step. You can do it on vacation, you can do it grocery shopping, you can do it on your treadmill, and so it's going to be a year around. But the kickoff will start in June, so if you're interested, we're going to be buying at least 25 tracking devices. They're like pedometers, and they will track your steps, and they're very, you know, very good ones. They're not the cheapy ones. And so the other way you can track your steps if you don't like technology, if you walk for an hour, that's equal to 2,000 steps. So if you walk a half an hour, you know, that's 1,000 steps. So everyone will have a tracking sheet, and part 2 will be coming after part 1, and I will explain that as it comes. So we're just asking you to challenge yourself, and some people do. They need like a little kick and a little push, and so we're just asking you to think about maybe, you know, joining us on June 3rd, and we're looking into having some turkey burger party afterwards on the front lawn, and so have everybody join us. And so you'll be seeing more out there. We'll have, you know, posters and things around town. And that's about it for me,
Okay, Barbara.
okay?
The last few years, we've been having a
Question.
health fair, as
Question,
you
wait a
know.
Yeah, what did you say for, how many steps is a half an hour?
Well, if 1 mile is 2,000, 1 hour, 1 mile is 2,000 steps, so half of that,
Oh, okay.
1,000, or a half a mile, half a mile.
Thank you.
Just makes it easier. It's just approximately correct, so that's the number that we'll go with.
And what did you call it, the pedometer?
Yeah, the old word is pedometer, the new word is tracking device, so. I learned that, a lot. So, I'm calling a tracking pedometer, so everybody will know what I'm talking about.
Where do you get something like that, a sport?
Actually, I picked it up for $20 at Dick's Sporting Goods. But with this grant, you will be receiving one if you sign up. You don't have to be from Halifax
Yeah,
to sign
I
up. You know that.
Yeah.
So if you call and get on the list and you're the first 20, one of the 25th people, then I will check you off for a tracking device.
Wow.
Okay, and you'll get it on June 3rd when you come to the, to the walkathon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry, Ken.
That's okay. Any other questions? I was just gonna say, as you recall, department heads anyway, for the past few years, we've been having the health fair, and the last couple of years that I've got at the school. But each year, it seems to be a little more difficult to get the same people, the same vendors. And I think probably what it is that, we need to take a rest, maybe do something else instead of the health fair. I just wonder if anyone has any suggestions, what we could do that you could represent your own capacity without maybe having a health fair, but I don't, maybe there isn't anything. Any ideas?
The vendors mentioned that for a Saturday, they can't do Saturdays. That's not a work day.
So Saturday's
they-
a better day?
No, it's
a
not.
good
They
day.
prefer a weekday.
Yeah.
Because that's a work day, they can go anywhere. Saturday is, they won't give them the overtime, it's not a work day.
Yeah.
So Saturdays don't work for most of the vendors.
So that could be a problem that we've been having.
That definitely is.
So I think maybe if we decide to have it another day, or, anyway, something you can think about anyway, and just let me or Barbara know what you think, if we should even have one, or let it go for a year, or just have it a different day. We can still have the same place, there'd be no problem there. It's just we're trying to get enough people to fill it up. I know last year we had a number of it, but wasn't as much as the year before. And maybe it's because there's other things going on at the time we're having. I know Plymouth has a lot of different things going on. So, if you just think about it and let us know what you think we should do, whether have one or just forget it for a year. So before you leave, I want to read something to you. This is called Speak the Same Language. This, by the way, is from my country magazine. I ain't much of a talker, the ranch foreman said to his new cowhand. I don't waste that way, I want you, I whistle. I don't talk to you, I don't call you, I whistle for you. So when you hear me whistle, don't bother asking what I want, you just come a-running. So the cowhand said, I like that too. So when you look over and see me shaking my head, it means I ain't a-coming. You recognize that? Jeff?
Kinda.
You ain't a-coming. So thank you all for coming, and hope to see you on the next meeting, which will be on April 14th, and that'll be with Susan Playfair. The reason that we had her go later is because her husband